Hi guys, it's Ben Heath from Lead Guru, and in this video, I'm going to talk about whether or not you should accept or you should offer results-based pay if you're a Facebook ads agency, if you offer Facebook advertising services. This is something that a lot of your prospects, a lot of your clients might want. They might want a situation where they only pay you if you're able to deliver them a certain profitability, a certain ROAS, something along those lines. And I'll talk about whether you should accept it, whether you shouldn't, what we do, all that stuff in this video. I think if you offer Facebook ad services or you run a Facebook ads agency, this can be really, really valuable. Before I get into that, I want to very quickly ask you to smash that like button and of course subscribe to our channel if you are new and haven't done so already. Okay, so results-based pay, the advantages for your clients are obvious. Who wouldn't want a scenario where they end up paying a business that they hire, an agency, based on the results they're able to achieve? It basically means that the client can't lose out. So if you offer something like results-based pay, you're very likely to find that your conversion rates go up, you acquire a lot more clients, all that sort of stuff. But there are also some massive disadvantages to it for you as a Facebook ads agency. And it's not something that we offer. It's not something that I would recommend many Facebook ads service providers or Facebook ads agencies offer. And here's why. Here's what you need to watch out for. When you're running a Facebook ad campaign for a business, what do you have in your control? Okay? You have, to some extent, not complete control, but to some extent, you have the ad creative in your control. You have the ad copy in your control, the targeting options, the various settings within your Facebook ad campaign, okay? So a bunch of really important stuff, and that's what you're being paid for. But you don't have control over enough of the elements that go into a successful Facebook and Instagram ad campaign in order to dedicate resources, whether it's your time or you have staff and it's costs associated with that, and only be paid if it works out. There's too many factors outside of your control that can go wrong, okay? And that might sound, if you're not involved with a Facebook ads agency, that might sound like a bit of a cop-out, but it absolutely isn't. It really isn't. There's only so much you can do as a Facebook ads agency. If you work with a client that, let's say, is launching a brand new product, and that exact same product or something very, very similar can be bought for 30% less on Amazon very easily, that campaign is very unlikely to succeed. Now, that sounds obvious and logical, but you'll be surprised how many prospects, how many new clients you might get that have that sort of scenario where their exact product, something very similar, can be bought on Amazon for a fraction of the price. Okay, that's one example. You could have really bad customer feedback scores. We've certainly had that with previous clients where running ads on Facebook, campaigns are doing really well, but their support, this particularly happens with businesses that grow really fast because their support system can't keep up with it. They have stock issues. You end up where customers don't receive the product for a few weeks. Perhaps when they get in touch with support, it's a few days, and they leave bad feedback scores on Facebook, which then jeopardizes the advertising efforts, okay? And that's a really important and significant thing that will definitely impact the results that you get. That's nothing to do with you as a Facebook ads agency. You've done everything you can. So you could enter into a scenario like that where you're no longer delivering results, your ROAS has dropped, or maybe even your ability to advertise has been curtailed on Facebook, and you're not getting paid even though you've done great work, okay? That can absolutely happen. There are all sorts of things that clients have to sign off on often. Ad creative, perhaps they don't want to go with the ad creative that you want to go for. Perhaps they're not willing to run the aggressive sale that you know would deliver the great, fantastic results. It sounds great in theory to offer results-based pay, but in practice, you just run into so many issues that are outside of your control. You could well start working with a new client in, say, February, and the best time of year for them to generate sales is, say, September through December. Quite a lot of businesses operate like that. You start working with a new client, you agree on let's say a percentage improvement in return on ad spend, you run campaigns for the first 3 months, February through to April, May, and it doesn't work as well as what was done, let's say, October, November time. Well, if those products happen to sell really well September, October, November, December, there's very little you're going to be able to do to beat those results at other times of year. And you may not know that going into it. If it's not an industry you've worked with a lot before, you might not know the specific nuances. Another classic example of things that are outside of your control that can massively have an impact on your results would be things like clients' websites not being up to scratch, their landing pages not being quite right. You may not have any control over that aspect of their business, but a landing page, a product page, a webinar that converts people, these have enormous impacts over the results, the ROAS that you get from your Facebook ad campaigns. So I think that as a Facebook ads agency, you can control what you can control, which is the Facebook advertising side of things. You can control the fact that you can deliver a fantastic Facebook ad campaign. You can do the work. You can put together nice creative. You can test new strategies. You can find targeting options that work. You can write excellent copy. And you should be paid based on the work that you do, agreed, not subjective to what the client thinks, agreed upfront because you know the value of what you're able to produce, not based on the results. That, yes, is partly down to that stuff, but also massively dependent on a whole bunch of other things that I've mentioned that might be outside of your control. You basically cannot operate a business that's successful, scalable, etc. if your pay is dependent on so much that is outside of your control. That is not going to go well. It's not something I'd recommend. And I'm on our website right now, and this is our done for you services page. And you can see if I sort of scroll down, we've got examples of fantastic results, right? We've got case studies in here. There's a whole case study section up here. We've got screenshots. I mean, here's a screenshot for a client where we spent £26,000, generated over £511,000, £511,000 over a short period of time. That's a 19.31 ROAS, which is absolutely incredible. Something that we're very proud of. But even though we deliver great results and we demonstrate it through our case studies, our testimonials, and that's a really important part of acquiring clients, we're not okay with any one client coming along and saying, well, I can see you can produce those results, so how about we do a deal where you have to achieve a 6x ROAS for my business or you don't get paid. No, because a 6x ROAS might not be possible. Even if we put together the best Facebook ad campaign that anyone's ever produced, if your product or service isn't good enough to do it, if your brand isn't aligned right with your target audience, it just might not be possible, okay? If your price point's way off, all these things that you don't have control over, that can have a big, big impact on the success of your results. The only time when I would potentially look into doing a results-based system would be, actually there's two scenarios, but one not really. I'm gonna go through. The first one is, if you work with a client for a long time, you know you can deliver results, and it's been proven. And then you come up with some sort of incentive structure where if you achieve certain results, you get paid more. That would be okay. But you want to have worked with them first to know that what the goals are being set are actually possible. That's the first thing. The second thing, okay, would be if you are relatively new, you haven't got case studies, you haven't got testimonials, you haven't worked with many clients, you want to gain experience, you will find it easier to get those first few clients if you offer a results-based structure, and that might be worth it to get the experience, to get the testimonials and things right at the beginning, okay? Now, normally I'd recommend working for free for a month or two and then charging, or charging very little instead of results-based still, just because I've seen this go wrong so many times. But that is an option that you could look into doing right at the beginning, because experience and getting clients on board is more important than the revenue you generate, okay? That's a scenario in which I wouldn't hate doing something along those lines, but that's not how I've set it up. Now, if you say to clients, look, we're just not willing to offer results-based payment structure, you can give the reasons that I've given why. I've certainly had that conversations with probably, definitely dozens, maybe even hundreds of prospects. I've said that too. What you can say, because often they want to align your interests, right? They want to be like, well, hang on, I want us to be on the same page here. I want that if I do well, you do well, and vice versa, which I completely agree with. Here's how I would recommend you structure it and how we structure it. We start with a flat fee, okay? And then we charge a percentage of the ad spend beyond a certain point. So what we say to clients is, look, if you come on board and you start spending X amount, you are only going to increase your ad spend if we're delivering good results. It's the only scenario in which someone will scale a campaign, right? I mean, of course. So we are highly incentivized to get you the best results possible, because we know if we get you the best results possible, you will scale. And when you scale, we make more money. So it's not results-based pay, but it has got an incentive structure. We are aligned on our interests, and we are going to do whatever we can do to get the best results possible. So I think that's a really important thing that you can say and that clients often really like. So basically don't forget that point, because it's a big one. Okay, before you go, a couple of things I want to, one thing I want to quickly mention that I haven't talked about on YouTube channel before, and is specific to this sort of content. If you're a Facebook ads agency owner, you're off Facebook advertising services, come to my website, leadguru.co.uk, and then go to the free resources section. And in this free resources section, you probably can't see it because I'll be blocking this bar. But under this free resource section, there's a Facebook ads agency mini series, right? If you click on this, you'll see that it's how to build and scale a Facebook ads agency. It's a completely free mini series, bunch of free content that you can go through that shows you how to acquire clients, how to price your services, proposals, how to retain clients, how to scale, all that sort of stuff. Completely free. A link will be in the video description. Like, you can either come to our website and find it, or there'll be a link in the description of this video. Go ahead and click through to that, sign up for that, and yeah, I think you'll find that very, very useful. If you found this video helpful, please comment below to let me know. Comment below if you've got any questions. I can't answer all the questions, but I certainly do my best, and I do get to quite a lot of them. Subscribe to my channel if you are new and haven't done so already. Smash a like on the video, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. Best of luck with everything. Bye for now.